Welcome to another edition of Morning Date, where we get to speak with incredible people from all walks of life. Well, today we're very lucky to have a guest who has kind of touched everyone's life. He was the head of Google Campus Seoul senior level at 배달의 민족 and worked in business development for LinkedIn. I'd love to welcome Mike Kim to the studio. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Good morning, Mike.
Good morning.
Would you like to say hello to our listeners?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks so much for having me on here, and hopefully we'll have a good session here.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk about all the various projects you've been a part of and your life itself as well.
Yeah.
So let's start off with some brief introductions.
Sure.
Tell us a bit about yourself.
So I was born and raised in the Bay Area in San Francisco. I lived there all my life. And then 5 years ago, fate brought me to Korea. I had been working for a little over a decade in Silicon Valley and tech companies. And, I never really thought that Korea would be a chapter in my life until I met an investor who said, hey, there's this small company, it's called 배달의 민족, and you're probably not interested, but what do you think? And I had been doing startups all my life.
Yeah.
And, I had kind of curiosity, so I came out here and basically I met 김봉진 대표님. We did one walk around 석촌호수, I'll never forget that.
Really?
And, actually at the time I couldn't speak any Korean, and he couldn't speak any English, but within 20 minutes it was just kind of fate. And, at the time I was at LinkedIn, I came back and I said to my parents, I'm going to move to Korea. And they said, where are you going? What are you doing? And I said, are you going to Samsung? Are you going to 대기업? I said, I'm going to 배달의 민족. And so,
This was before 배달의 민족 really kicked off
50 people in a small room. We actually called our office 작은 집. Yeah, and so it was a family. And so I had done Silicon Valley for 10 years and I came out here and then spent 2 years growing and working at 배달의 민족 in the 대표실 and just loved it.
Yeah.
We grew from about 50 folks to about 400, 500 folks in 2 years.
Wow.
And then Google gave me a call and said, hey, we're looking for someone to oversee APAC for our team, Google for Startups. And I have a deep passion for the entrepreneurs, not just of Korea, but for Asia. I think there's a rising generation of founders coming here. And so it was tough to leave 배달의 민족 because it's my family and I love them. And I always say that they are the reason why I love this country so much. They showed me the best of Korea. And this Google opportunity allowed me to now do that for all of Asian entrepreneurs. So that's where I am now.
Wow. Just a few days ago I used their service, I have to say.
Thank you.
샌프란시스코에서 나서 잘하셨고요. 평생을 샌프란시스코에서 사시다가 실리콘밸리에서도 한 10년 정도 일을 하셨는데 5년 전에 우연한 기회에 배달의 민족이라고 하는 그 당시에는 굉장히 작은 사업에 김봉진 대표님 죄송합니다. 만나서 얘기를 하다가 이거다. 내가 앞으로 이제 향후 몇 년 동안 몸을 담고 싶은 회사다라는 생각이 들어서 바로 비행기를 타고 한국에 오신 게 바로 5년 전이라고 합니다. 그리고 배달의 민족에서 일을 하시다가 그 다음에 이제 구글에서 또 좋은 오퍼가 들어와서 지금은 이제 구글의 해외 파트너십 부장으로 일을 하고 계십니다. 아시아 패시픽 지역에서 Google for Startups라고 하는 부서의 부장님이신데요. 자, 그러면은 let's talk about these one by one. Take us back to 배달의 민족. Now, I did some research on how you got started there, and you said that your Korean wasn't good back then.
Oh, I mean, non-existent.
Yeah?
I think in my entire life, I had only used Korean. I only knew like 3 words. It was probably 엄마, 아빠, and 갈비. I mean, those are the 3 words I used. So coming here, I didn't know anything. And so it was a learning experience because everyone there spoke Korean, obviously. And so this sounds crazy to you probably, but I literally called 김봉진 대표님 한 달 동안 그냥 봉진. 안녕 봉진, 뭐 봉진 밥 먹을래? I mean, 한국말 아예 못하니까.
대표님인데.
Yeah, right. So I didn't know, 대표님, 이사님, 팀장님, 부장님. We don't have that in America. Even at LinkedIn, I'd call the CEO Jeff. And so, 실패한 거 엄청 많죠. I mean, I made a lot of mistakes. But that was great because 항상 받아줬어요. So they were really kind and they kind of one step by one step taught me Korean. And I think now 5 years later it's comfortable. But it was a great learning experience. And we grew the company very fast. It was a very exciting time for us.
Sure.
Very small company, but that's what I loved when I was at Zynga or at LinkedIn, other companies. We like to start small and big and grow.
Yeah.
And so that's my passion, is going from 1 to 100.
The fact that you were able to call the CEO of the company by his first name for 2 weeks, I think says something about his personality.
Yeah.
Was that one of the traits that attracted you to the company?
100%. I always say this. People always ask, why would you leave Silicon Valley and LinkedIn for 배달의 민족? And I said, when we walked around Seokchun Hoso that one time, I asked them all these questions. What's the exit? What's the future? What's your plan? And I'll never forget his answer. His answer was, 그거 아니고 10년 뒤에 if I'm in a Lotte Mart and I run into kind of an old employee, I just want that person to say to me, working at 배달의 민족 was the happiest time of my life.
Wow.
So that's a very different answer than, I want to be the number one 짜장면 배달 company. Or I want to be, I want to be rich. I want to go IPO. What I fell in love with was he was building a movement. He was building a company in Korea to give young people happiness.
Right.
That's a very different type of startup than just, I want to be rich. I want to make money. I want to IPO.
I feel like Silicon Valley is more focused on changing the world, being the number one in the world.
Right. And I think there's a monetary goal.
Yeah.
Where, most entrepreneurs want that.
Sure.
김봉진 대표님 had a much bigger vision. It was, how do we create a workforce where young people can be happy? And so that's what drove me here.
Yeah.
I love social change. I want to be a part of that. And that's what made the easy decision for me to come here.
그랬군요. 처음에 이제 배달의 민족에서 일을 했을 때 사실 한국 문화에 대한 이해가 전혀 없었기 때문에 한국말도 당연히 못했고요. 그래서 대표님을 2주 동안이나 그냥 봉진 이렇게 이름으로 불렀다고 설명을 해주셨는데 그만큼 이제 포용력이 있는 좀 대표님의 아량도 좀 느껴집니다. 그리고 나중에 회식 때 가서 알게 됐다면서요.
that's
그러면 안
true.
된다는 걸. 근데 그만큼 사실 어떤 사람을 보고 한국에 왔다라고 볼 수 있을 것 같아요. 처음에 그 당시 이제 대표님과의 대화를 통해서 이 회사, 이 사업에 대한 얘기를 좀 해주세요. 목적이 뭐예요? 라고 물어봤을 때 10년 후 예전에 나와 함께 일했던 사람이 그때가 가장 행복했습니다 라고 말을 할 수 있으면 나는 목적을 달성한 것이다 라고 말을 해서 거기서 감동을 받아가지고 격한 감동을 받아서 미국에서 한국까지 오시게 되셨어요. And you stayed at 배달의 민족 for how many years?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And then you moved to Google.
Yeah.
Tell us about that move.
So it was really tough because I love 배달의 민족 and I didn't necessarily want to leave.
Yeah.
But I also saw the bigger picture in Asia, which is, I genuinely believe the future of entrepreneurship and what the entrepreneurs of just Asia in general are building is tremendous.
Sure.
And so this particular role, being the head of Google for Startups APAC, means I get to support entrepreneurs all over Singapore, in India, in China, in Japan, all throughout Southeast Asia. I get to take the best of Google resources and support them. And so I also, for me, my long-term vision is I want to be in Korea. And I think the one thing that I noticed was that Korea, being a small country, we need people that have connections all over. And so I thought, how can I be more valuable to Korea for the startup ecosystem? And I thought, if I take this role, that means if there's a young kid in Ilsan or Gyeongju or Gwangju say, hey, I have a dream, I want to build a company in Southeast Asia, can you introduce me to someone? Hey, I need someone in Japan. I could be that person. And so for me, that decision was because I love Korea and because I also thought, what is my long-term vision here? And so I took the offer to go to Google, and it's been 3 years now.
Wow. I mean, they do say that Korea is so advanced in terms of the technology and the infrastructure and everything, but the one thing it does lack is that sort of networking, global networking. And so you saw that as an opportunity going to Google to be able to do that.
I wanted to build that skill set. I wanted to build those relationships.
Yeah.
Because primarily I want to support entrepreneurs, but I also thought, I live in Korea because I love Korea. And so and being in the ecosystem, I knew one of the valuable things that we needed was someone that can constantly bring the world to Korea and to connect Koreans to the world. And so that has always been my vision for taking on this role. And so I'm very excited about that.
네. 이제 구글에서 오퍼가 들어왔을 때 아시아 태평양 지역의 해외 파트너십 부장으로서 일을 해달라라고 해서 사실 고민이 많았다고 합니다. 왜냐면은 그 기존에 있었던 배달의 민족도 너무나 정말 마음속에 그 고향 같은 그런 느낌이 있었기 때문에 떠나고 싶진 않았지만 큰 비전으로 봤을 때는 한국에만 국한된 게 아니라 이 지역 전체, 아시아, 태평양 이 전체적인 어떤 세계적인 안목으로 봤을 때는 이 일이 조금 더 나의 비전에 부합하지 않겠느냐라는 생각에 구글로 옮기게 되셨다는 얘기를 해주셨어요. Well, Google for Startups is where you work right now. We'll talk more about that and also your love for Korea, but how circumstances have made it so that you will actually have to leave quite soon.
Yeah, I mean, basically my life changed 3 weeks ago. I went in for a routine renewal of my F4 visa, which I've
Why don't we
done.
get to that after a song break?
Sure, let's do that.
Keep our listeners in suspense. 네, 조금 후에 이 얘기를 좀 나눠보도록 하겠습니다. 루이 암스트롱의 노래를 듣고 올게요. This is What a Wonderful World. You're listening to Morning Date here on Morning Special. We have Mike Kim with us in the studio today. He's the former head of Google Campus Seoul and current head of Google for Startups Asia Pacific. Now, before the song break, Mike, you were talking about how you went to renew your visa because you are an American citizen, so you need a visa to be staying in Korea.
That's right.
What happened?
So I went in. So I'm on an F4 visa, which is a visa that Korea gives out to people who have Korean parents or ancestry.
I see.
And so I went in for my routine renewal. Every 2 years I go in. I've done it 2 times before. And before I moved to Korea, I obviously had it. So it was 3 times. It's usually a 10-minute appointment. You pay $60, and then you get another 2-year renewal. And I went in 3 weeks ago, and my entire life changed. They said that they will no longer renew the visa. There was a slight change in the bylaws, and in order for me to continue to stay in Korea now, I have to just take the 한국 시민권, the Korean citizenship card, and 한국 여권, a Korean passport.
Okay.
The reason being is they say now visas are for people who are foreigners. Korea
But
does
you
not,
are a foreigner.
I am 100% American. I was born and raised there. Never been in the Korean passport citizenship or even in the 호적. Never. But the only small thing is, when I was born in America, my father's 국적 citizenship was Korean at that time.
So you're considered
which
Korean
makes me 100% Korean. And that is this change in law now. So as Korea sees it now, they says, if you want to live here, you can, but then you have to take your Korean citizenship, and I am 35 years old.
Okay.
Which means I have to go to mandatory military service because that is also the law in Korea.
Right.
So until 38, I have to serve the military for 2 years.
What's
So-
the other option?
Move out.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
So 3 weeks, my entire life got flipped over. I was in disbelief, to be honest with you. I just didn't think, how can an American citizen be put in a position to serve the Korean military? I've also lived here for 5 years,
Right.
and I've also renewed my visa multiple times.
Ah.
And so no one gave you a heads up. No one tells you that this is going to happen. You just go in with your routine paperwork, and then your entire life changed. And so basically the past 3 weeks, it's been a race to close out my life. I
And so
mean,
you're going to be leaving Korea when?
Friday is my last
This
official day in
Friday.
Korea. My
Okay.
visa expires December 8th. I have to leave before then. So
그렇군요.
Friday is my last official day, and I have to move. And so it's been a nightmare. I've had to close out every account I have, banking, your Wi-Fi, your apartment,
Right.
everything. And there's no choice. And I also have a lot of other friends that are going through the exact same situation. They're married, so they're working for a Korean company. The Korean company fired them because you can no longer be employed by a Korean company either
Wow.
if there's no visa. And so they also don't want to serve in the military. So for them, they lost their jobs. Their wives have to say goodbye as well to her friends, and they have to go back. So it's a really strange set of circumstances. And as the lawyers said, they actually said the law wasn't intended for people like you.
Yeah.
They actually said, one of the Korean lawyers said, you're a dolphin caught in a tuna net, so you're kind of collateral damage. They weren't necessarily saying we want to get gyopos out, but what this law will do is there's probably, I think, 500,000 gyopos living in Korea. If you're a Korean male under 38, this will affect you.
아, 그렇군요. 자, 저희가 방송이 나가는 거는 토요일이지만 지금 사전 녹음이 되고 있습니다. 그래서 금요일까지는 출국을 해야 되는 갑작스러운 상황이 발생을 해서요. 마이크 킴 씨가 이 방송이 나가는 그 시점에는 사실 한국에 계시지는 않을 겁니다. 상황이 어떻게 됐냐면요. 한국 사람처럼 생겼지만 사실은 한국 사람이 아니에요. 미국에서 나서 자랐고 본인 스스로도 이제 나는 미국 사람이다라고 생각을 하고 평생을 사셨는데 다만 태어났을 때 아버님이 한국 국적을 가지고 계셨기 때문에 우리나라 법으로는 부모 중에 누구라도 한국 국적을 가진 분이 계시면은 어느 나라에서 태어났든지 간에 남성으로서는 군 복무를 해야 되는 의무가 있다라는 겁니다. 그래서 38세까지는 그게 유효하다고 해요. 근데 아직 그 38세가 안 되셔서 갑자기 몇 주 전에 출국하세요 라는 아니면 군복무하세요 이런 옵션이 놓여져서 그러니까 마이크 킴 씨의 입장에서는 뭐 군복무를 하기 싫은 뭐 그런 입장이 아니고요. 내가 미국인인데 왜 한국 군대에서 복무를 해야 되느냐 좀 이런 입장이라고 좀 설명을 해주셨고요. Well, by the time this goes out on air, you will no longer be in the country as I understand it. We are pre-recording this particular interview. But yeah, I hope everything does work out and hopefully you will be back in Korea within the next 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years.
Absolutely. I mean, I love this country and I also believe that you can serve this country in many different ways, which is why for the past 5 years I've created organizations like the Korea Legacy Committee, the Korea Leadership Society. These are things where I did want to put down roots here and I wanted to be a part of growing the next chapter of Korea because I love this country. And so I think there are many ways to serve a country outside of serving the military.
Yes.
And there are a lot of people who feel the same way. And so that's why I dedicated so much of my time in building these organizations for Korea.
I can really tell you have a passion for Korea. Tell us about some of your other projects that you...
Sure. So I think one of the most important is the Korea Legacy Committee. So we actually just celebrated our 4-year anniversary this October. And this is an organization, or actually I like to call it, it is a movement built by young people, powered by young people, to support the elderly facing poverty. Korea has the highest rate of elderly poverty in the world. Nearly 48%, 50% nearly, so almost 1 out of 2 elderly people in Korea live in poverty. This is the highest rate of elderly poverty in the world. And so, I just, there's no way we can let that stand. So 4 years ago, my friends and I started an organization called the Korea Legacy Committee. And every month we do 봉사활동. So we feed about 3,000 elderly at different centers. And then 3개월마다, kind of every quarter, we throw a big charity event. Whether it's like a 자선 party or a gala, we raise the money and then we donate it. So we'll like the 동해 노인복지센터, 서울 노인복지센터. And so we just celebrated our 4-year anniversary. We have college chapter, so 대학 지부, so that 연세, 서울대, 중앙대. I mean, this is a movement that is going to continue to grow. And so this shows that young people care about this country. And this is a platform for us to serve the elders of our country.
그렇군요. Korea Legacy Committee라고 하는 무브먼트라고 부르셨는데요. 어떤 운동을 시작하셨다라고 부르셨습니다. 근데 사실 이제 봉사단체예요. 4년 전에 시작을 했는데 노인 복지에 힘을 쓰고 있는 그런 단체라고 볼 수 있겠고 정기적으로 봉사활동을 하시고 그러면서 이제 먹거리도 제공을 하고 자선 파티도 정기적으로 여는데 이 자선 파티는 뭐 어떻게 모양인가요? What sort of things do you have at
It could be many things. It could be we'll get together and we'll do a bowling event. So everyone pays a little bit of money, and the bowling 사장님 will kind of give a little bit of a 할인 in the space. So then that 수익금 we give to the Noin Book Center. Or annually, our biggest one is a black tie gala. So in Korea we don't have a young professional black tie gala. I mean, if you're a 대학생 in Korea, how many times you get to wear a tux and a gown? They always feel like 연예인s get to do that, and I think that's wrong. I think the notion that only rich people can be philanthropists is wrong.
Yeah.
If you are a 대학생 and you give 1,000원, that's the same amount of money that a chaebol gives 1억. It's the same, but we have to remind young people that you have that power, and so that's why we have these kind of 자선 parties to make sure that young people feel like I too have a voice. I have a place in this country. And so every 3 months we try to think of new ideas. But annually, the biggest one, kind of the annual event is the gala. And so this movement has grown every single year. The amount of money we raise grows every single year. This past gala, we raised 4천만 원, 4만 불. So, and all that goes to the 노인 복지센터. So, my vision was I wanted to create this as a national movement. I want there to be a Gwangju, Gyeongju, Busan chapter. I want young people to feel inspired and want to live here to build the next chapter of Korea.
아, 무브먼트를 움직임으로 보는 게 좀 더 좋겠네요. 노인 복지를 위한 어떤 대대적인 국가적인 움직임을 시작하고 싶었다 설명을 해주셨는데 이 자선 파티는 참여하는 사람들이 대부분 젊은이들인데 턱시도라든지 이런 좀 꾸며서 옷을 입고 가서 기부할 수 있는 금액 아무리 적은 금액이더라도 기부를 해서 그 돈을 나중에 이제 전부 다 노인복지센터에 보내는 일인데 아까 굉장히 재밌는 얘기를 해주셨어요. 대학생이 내는 1,000원은 전 세계 그 갑부들이 내는 뭐 이렇게 뭐 큰 액수랑 똑같다. 왜냐면 상대적인 것이기 때문에 내가 가지고 있는 돈의 일부를 준다라는 의미에서는 억만장자가 뭐 한 1,000만 원을 내는 것이나 대학생이 1,000원을 내는 것이나 똑같다. 누구나 자선 사업가가 될 수 있다는 얘기가 저한테는 굉장히 인상적이었습니다. I like that analogy that you gave us there. Everyone and anyone can be a philanthropist.
Absolutely. I think that's one of the things I really want to convey. And then another organization that started is the Korea Leadership Society. There, when I was in San Francisco, I was the president of the San Francisco Young Democrats, which is one of the largest young professional democratic organizations. It gets young people passionate about being civically involved, so running for office or being a politician. I don't think it's any surprise to many people that we want political change here, especially young people. But when I moved to Korea, I was surprised that young people don't run for office.
No, they don't.
They don't, and they can. And that is a privilege.
Well, we do have a few exceptions.
We of course, yeah. But I want to see much more. There should be college students, there should be people in their 20s and 30s running for office. You may not win, but I also realized that we don't have that culture yet.
Yeah.
So the San Francisco Young Democrats, when I was president, once a month we get a 정치인 or a politician, whether it's a 시장님, mayor, to come and just do a happy hour. You know, in America we have that kind of culture. It's okay for a politician to have a beer and talk with young people. Korea, we don't have that culture. When I first said I want to get 정치인s to come have a 맥주 with some young people, said no one from 국회의원 is going to come down there. But surprisingly, we've had a lot of good people come. We've had a lot of national leaders come and give very inspiring talks, and a lot of young people who thought I can never meet a 정치인 was able to meet in a really comfortable setting. And I want to inspire young people to run for office. So if you're mad about who's in office or you're mad about some politician, well, use that energy and you go run. Because as a Korean person, I can't. Because but I want to remind young people, don't be mad. If you call this country Hell Joseon, then you can make it Heaven Joseon. That's your choice. But you've got to step up and say, I will run for office.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at the people that are there. That you're also your 책임 to run. And so that's why I built the Korea Leadership Society, so that young people can start to realize, I can be a politician.
Yeah.
I can be a leader in this country.
I mean, you even have a presidential candidate who's in his 30s right now.
Right.
Democrat,
That's right.
So, I mean, in Korea, why not is what you're saying.
Absolutely.
미국에서 쭉 사시다가 한국에 오셨을 때 좀 놀랐던 것 중에 하나는 조금 더 젊은 정치인이 많을 줄 알았는데 그렇지 않다는 것에 놀라셔서 이제 시작한 또 다른 움직임은 이제 젊은 친구들이 기존에 지금 현직에 있는 정치인들과 만나서 굉장히 편하게 뭐 음료수도 마시고 과자도 먹고 그러면서 정치의 꿈을 키울 수 있는 그런 자리를 마련하기 시작하셨고요. 그로 인해서 젊은 친구들이 나도 할 수 있구나 라는 생각을 갖게 했다라는 얘기를 해주셨습니다. How many years has it been since you started?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. And so now not just 정치인s, we're thinking about just national leaders. So now I'm trying to invite as many people. It can be maybe someone from 방송 or 연예인. Just I want to get rid of the divide that some people, young people, feel like I can never get there. I think young people should always say I can get there. You know, I think there's a feeling that if I'm not, living in 도곡동, or I didn't go to Yonsei, or I didn't go this, then my life is over. That's not true.
Right.
You can be just as important in this country, despite your neighborhood, despite what apartment you live in. This is your future.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're dealt a few hands that may not be good, but you can still play. And so I'm really excited about also growing Korea Leadership Society, because I want to see 20, 30-year-olds running for office, winning, and building the next chapter of Korea.
I can see that you're obviously playing your part for the greater good and you're part of that social change yourself. 지금 이제 말씀하신 것처럼 꼭 뭐 정치인이 아니더라도 리더의 자리에 가는 것이 나는 어려서 안 돼라는 생각 자체를 없애기 위한 여러 가지 지금 노력을 기울여 오셨다라고 얘기를 해주셨습니다. 이제 멋진 일을 하고 계신 것 같고요.
감사합니다.
네, 저도 일단 감사하다는 말씀을 좀 드리고 싶습니다. 자, 또 한번 노래를 듣고 노래 듣고 나서 얘기를 이어가도록 하겠습니다. Let's take another song break. This time we have Cyndi Lauper, Time After Time. You're listening to Morning Special. This is Morning Date. And in the studio I have Mike Kim, head of Google for Startups, the Asia Pacific region, and the creator of so many very, very inspirational movements here in Korea. You have so many achievements. You've achieved so much. Have you ever failed at anything, Mike?
All the time.
You,
All the time.
you are from Silicon Valley, so maybe a couple of times.
Well, every single day, even 5 years living in Korea, I make mistakes all the time. And when I was at 배달의 민족, I made a ton of mistakes. I think to be honest with you, I think my parents are quite embarrassed that I made so many mistakes. I mean, I think almost for 3 months I never used yo. I forgot to use 존댓말.
Oh, really?
But,
실패감을 얘기해주세요.
yeah, but-
처음에 일했을 때, 한국에서 처음 일했을 때 한 석 달 동안 존댓말을 아예 사용하지 않았다고 합니다. 존댓말을 어떻게 쓰는지 몰라서.
Yeah.
그럼 다 반말했던 거예요? 안녕,
Totally.
밥
Yeah,
먹었어?
it was
이렇게.
really bad. And I think it was the second or third month when I moved to Korea, or when I was at 배달의 민족. I was in the 대표실, so there was a big meeting. I said, Mike, I think it was a CJ, there was like a vice president was going to come, so I forget the title, very senior person. I can tell everyone was very, nervous, and we were preparing, and even I was going home practicing some Korean.
Yeah.
And so the meeting happened at around 4:30, 4 o'clock, and then the meeting finished. And so we were going to go to dinner. And so there was me, 대표님, and there's the 이사님, and then the CJ executive.
Yeah.
And the 이사님 said, hey, let me go get the car. I'll bring it in the front.
Okay.
So we're coming down, and during the meeting, the conversation, the table was great. So it was great, and I really wanted to be respectful. So as the car came in the front, and the CJ executive is kind of old. He's probably 60 years old.
Okay.
I wanted to be really respectful, so I kind of grabbed his arm and I said, 앞에 타세요, because, in America it's like the front. So
Oh, really?
I was really, you want to ride shotgun. Everyone says, I want to sit in the front, I want to do it. So I was just thinking, 엄청 너무 잘하고 싶어서, 그 대표님 앞에서 뭘 하고 싶어서, I immediately 딱 차 앞에 나왔어요. I was like, hey, no, I even opened the door. I was like, no, sit in the front, 앞에 앉아요. And then 제가 뒤에 앉았죠. And so, the 이사님 sitting in the car, he's kind of holding like this. 대표님 아무 말씀 없는 거예요. And he sits in the back left, and then I sit in the back right.
We call it the VIP 석.
왕자리. And so, during the meeting, the 대화 was really good.
Yeah.
But 딱 차 안에 들었을 때, it was dead silent.
아이고.
Dead silent. And then we get to the first 사거리. And I'm thinking, 또 존댓말 안 썼나? I was just really confused. Like, did I 또? And then the 이사님 looks at, and then actually right when we get to the 사거리, the CJ 부사장님, like the vice president, 좀 무서워. He's kind of laughing a little bit. And then the 이사님 looks and goes, 진짜 죄송합니다. 한국 오래 안 살아서 이걸 몰라요. And then I was really confused. I said, 또 실패했나? And then the 대표님 looks at me and goes, you know where you're sitting? I said, I don't know. He says, 그게 왕자리야. You're not supposed to be sitting there. So things like that. And the CJ executive, he was he was nice 성격. So he kind of laughed and he said, wow, 진짜 오랜만에 앞에 탄다. It was kind of funny, but I made a lot of mistakes. 한국 와서 실패한 거 엄청 많고, I went to a 찜질방 one time and 때밀이, I don't know how to do 때밀이.
Yeah.
There's so many things I did wrong.
때밀이 뭘 잘못하셨어요?
When
What's the
they,
mistake you made?
you're supposed to, when they tap you, you're supposed to roll. And I don't know how to do that. So
What did you think they were doing?
I thought they were giving you a massage. So I just stood there like this, and everyone was kind
다리를 툭툭 치면은 돌아야 되는데 그냥 가만히 앉아서
of,
마사지 해주나 보다 생각하셨어요?
living in Korea, one of the things is I made a lot of mistakes, and I was very humbled, and it doesn't matter if you speak English because you have to be, when you're in Korea, you have to do it the Korean way.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Korea. And so I've had to change a lot. I had to learn about myself. I had to learn about my culture. But I'm so glad that so many Korean friends 항상 받아줬어. You know?
Yeah.
So they said, it's okay. 그리고 좀 가르쳐주고. And then, so I never got mad. I just thought, 뭐 어차피 이 인생 실패한 거 엄청 많잖아요. You just have to do it. 실패 안 하고 싶어서 그러면 그게 인생 아니잖아요. You just have to live. And so I can write a book about the things I failed at.
Wow.
But I don't mind that. I think that's important. And if you don't take yourself too seriously, just kind of laugh. Don't worry if other people laugh at you. It's okay. You survive.
I feel like you were really surrounded by great people, but then you yourself, I think, was probably another great person for Koreans to be around. And, you know, because you weren't sort of arrogant about it, or you sort of owned up to it immediately and you laughed about it. I think that's probably, from a Korean's perspective, another reason not to get angry.
I mean, it's just, I think there's so much that Kyopos and Koreans can do together. I really believe that. And I think in the next future chapter of Korea, we have to work together.
Yeah.
There's a diaspora of Koreans all over the world, and right now, more than ever, we need young Koreans to come back. We need 유학생s to come back. We need Korean Americans to come back. We need Kyopos to come back. There's a lot of common ground. Sometimes there's friction, but I think we have to work together. And if we kind of put our ego down and just kind of be a little embarrassed and sometimes make a lot of mistakes, soju is very good. Soju will get people to be very friendly. If you could do that, I think that the future of Korea looks really, really bright.
실패담을 나열하라 그러면은 책을 쓸 수 있을 정도로 실패담이 많다고 얘기를 해주셨는데요. 그런데 주변에서 다행히 모든 분들이 항상 예쁘게 좀 봐주시고, 그때 아까 얘기한 것처럼 굉장히 높은 직책의 분을 그 VIP석에 앉혀야 되는데 그러지 않고 본인이 직접 가서 앉았음에도 불구하고 다들 그냥 허허허 웃으면서 넘겼던 여러 가지 에피소드를 알려주셨는데, 그런 것처럼 이제 처음에는 문화적인 충돌 때문에 어려움이 있지만 중요한 것은 그걸 너무 심각하게 받아들이지 말고 나를 비웃는 그런 스킬이 필요하다. 내가 또 그랬네? 약간 이런 게 있으면 더 쉽게 유하게 넘어갈 수 있다라는 교훈까지 알려주셔서 우리 청취자분들에게도 큰 도움이 됐을 것 같습니다. It's more difficult than you think to not take yourself too seriously, I think, in today's day and age, and maybe more so here than other countries. People are quite serious, and
I think you gotta drop the mask. We're all humans, and one of the things I always tell young Koreans when I do college talks, they said, it's too hard to speak English, sometimes I don't sound good. I said, listen to me. I sound like a pabo when I speak Korean. It's terrible. I got a weird saturi. When I first came to Korea, I went to Home Plus, I asked for a tama, because all my life I heard tama. And then so I'm using 옛날 한국말. They don't even say tama. It's not even Korean. But 그 정도 내가 Home Plus가 실패한 거잖아요. I was like, I don't know what a tama is. So, you just have to just stop trying to be someone else and just enjoy it. And if you do that, people I think will just accept you more if you who you are.
네. 그래서 그 장벽만 어느 정도 허물면 그 다음에는 외국인과 한국인과의 콜라보레이션을 통해서 정말 많은 것을 한국이 이룰 수 있다. 이런 비전과 얘기까지 해주셨습니다. Well, Mike, thank you so much for your time this morning. We are going to have to wrap things up there. Do enjoy the rest of your time here, and we hope to have you back sooner than later. I hope to hear good things.
Absolutely. I will visit often, and I will never give up on the work that we're doing for Korea. I love this country so much, and I'm going to be here forever.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
네, 오늘 모닝데이트는 구글에서 해외 파트너십 부장으로 일하고 계시는 마이크 킴 씨와 얘기를 나눠봤습니다.